A grant by Fred Meyer stores. What's on your list today? You'll find it at Fred Meyer. The following program is a Blazer Broadcasting and Post Up Productions presentation. This is Rip City TV with Eddie Doucette, Steve Jones, Mike Rice, and Bill Schonely. Tonight on Rip City TV, we'll feature Blazer forward Rasheed Wallace. We'll clue you in on what to expect from the Rose Quarter this month. And at home with Kenny and Tammy Anderson. This and more next as Rip City TV goes the extra mile for you. Tonight's special presentation of Rip City Television is brought to you by the Northwest Chrysler Plymouth Dealers, the home of the minivan store. By Henry Weinhard's Private Reserve, the West's first premium beer. And by Power Rents, when there's a job to get done.
There's a job to get done. There's Power Rents.
With its second sliding door, easy out roller seats, plus air conditioning and 7 passenger seating, all for a great price. The Plymouth Voyager is pretty attractive.
See your local Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Watch your step, darling.
Dora, my darling.
100 years ago, Henry Weinhard made the West's finest beer
Evening, Mayor.
and served it in the finest establishments.
2 Henrys.
Henry Weinhard crafted his beer with pure spring water and rare Cascade hops because he knew
It's called a coaster.
that even in the Northwest Territory,
Ticket?
people could still appreciate the finer things in life.
23?
Will you go out west with me?
Rip City TV is back with Eddie Doucette.
With the 4th pick in the 1995 NBA draft, the Washington Bullets select Rasheed Wallace from the University of North Carolina.
With those words, Rasheed joined the NBA. After just 2 collegiate seasons, the second-team All-American decided it was time to test his skills against the world's very best players. His rookie season last year with Washington included 51 starting assignments and a 10-point scoring average per game. But much of the media's attention centered on his perceived immaturity and quick temper with the officials.
That's the type of player I am. That's the type of player I was in high school, enthusiastic, like to talk a lot out there on the floor. That's my style of play. Like everyone else has their style of play. Some guys play quiet, like to kill you softly. Other guys go harder than others. So that's my whole style of play. And to me, I think it was pretty much judged unfair.
With an excess of gifted front court players and badly needing some direction at the point, the Bullets traded 6'10" Rasheed this past July to Portland in a package deal that included disgruntled guard Rod Strickland. Suddenly, the Philadelphia native was a long way from home.
The thought was in the back of my mind, but I didn't think that it would happen. But I was up at my buddy's barbershop. We were in the back lifting weights. And then my cousin came up there and said, yo, you just got traded. You know, at first we just blew it off like, yeah, whatever. And then that's when my agent had called me and said, yeah, you just got traded to Portland. I was like, what? You know, at first I couldn't believe it, but I was like, well, it happens. It's a business. You know, you got to be prepared for things like that.
The move reunited Rasheed with his high school teammate Aaron McKie. The duo helped lead Simon Gratz to the Philadelphia City Championship.
It was fun. I mean, he was a thin, 6'10", frail guy, you know, very athletic, can shoot, you know, had a touch around the basket. And, you know, he was just still learning the game. In high school, you know, the team, you know, we was like a close-knit family. Rasheed, anytime we would go on road trips, his mom would, you know, because we lived in like the same neighborhood, his mom would come pick me up, take me home from the game. So, you know, we got close in that kind of way.
His first season with the Blazers has been highlighted so far by an infectious enthusiasm and passion for the game, quickly making him a fan favorite. He continues to be among the NBA leaders in field goal percentage, and an integral part of Portland's attack is their multi-dimensional 22-year-old starting power forward.
We did have high expectations. I don't want to say I knew he was going to play just like this, but maybe the timetable's going a little quicker than we had hoped. But he's just too talented, and he's too good a person not to. He's got a great work ethic. He can shoot the ball. He can rebound. He can block shots. He runs the floor very well. So, I mean, he's too good a player not to play well.
Recently, his mother Jackie and other relatives made a visit to the Rose City. His mom now resides in Durham, North Carolina, and wishes that her third son were closer to home. Speaking of family, Rasheed is embroiled in a custody battle in hopes of bringing his one-year-old son to Portland. He's optimistic, but in the meantime, serves as a father figure to his fiance's 8-year-old son, Malik.
I like kids. I like to do things with kids. I play with my stepson a lot. We wrestle and do all that. I play with my nephew and my son a lot. That's just the things that I like to do, and to me, it's part of growing up, playing with kids, raising kids, or whatever. Because if you're a father of any type, you're gonna want to play with your son or play with your daughter. So that's just the way I feel inside.
But when Rasheed Wallace turns his attention back to the game that he loves so much, his goals are very clear.
For myself individually, to go out here, work hard, get a little bigger, and be the best player that I can be. And for team standards, team goals, I think that we want to win a championship, and I think that we have the caliber squad to do that.
Rip City TV moves on with Bill Schonely.
As we speak, the Blazers are in Los Angeles getting ready to take on the Lakers. But the Rose Quarter is hardly silent. Country queen Reba McEntire is in the Garden, ready to give a holiday treat to her huge following. Reba is just the beginning of a long list of gifts under the Rose Quarter tree this December. The Emmanuel Christmas concert featuring Michael W. Smith and Sandy Patty takes the Garden stage tomorrow night. And rock fans get their chance on Sunday as two-time Grammy winner Melissa Etheridge fires up Memorial Coliseum with a 7:30 show. Back to the Garden means Bette Midler on Monday, followed by celebrated saxophone player Kenny G and sultry Toni Braxton on Tuesday. We can help there as well. The Blazers holiday guest list features 5 games before the new year and includes the Rockets, Sonics, and the Washington Bullets. The gifts keep on coming in 1997 as January guests include Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Grant Hill, and a homecoming for Damon Stoudemire. There's still more hoops available. The Portland Power of the ABL have 3 more December dates. And the Ford Far West Classic returns December 27th and 28th at the Rose Garden. This year's Classic field is a strong one. Oregon and Oregon State play host to the Bradley Braves and Temple Owls. The Winterhawks' strong season continues with 3 more home dates before the end of the year. In fact, The Hawks kick off New Year's Eve by playing Seattle and finishes off the evening with a party at the Garden. And we stay on the ice for one more event you'll want on your new calendar. The Discover Cards Stars on Ice hit town January the 3rd and feature many of skating's brightest stars. Stars are the common theme at the Rose Quarter this time of year. Shouldn't you have a couple on your holiday wish list?
Coming up next on Rip City TV, a Blazer goes Hollywood. We'll explain. And later, we'll meet the Andersons on their turf.
You're watching Rip City TV. Stay tuned for more.
Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson of the Blazers.
And I'm Tammy Anderson.
Our family wants to make this holiday season joyous for children in need. Please help us by giving to the Northwest News Channel 8 Great Toy Drive.
Just bring a new unwrapped toy to any Portland, Vancouver, Les Schwab Tire Center or to the Rose Garden on Wednesday, December 18th before the Blazers Sonics game.
Holidays are for children. That's why Tammy and I hope you'll take part in the Northwest News Channel 8 Great Toy Drive. Happy holidays.
Plymouth Neon. Plymouth Breeze. Plymouth Voyager. Plymouth Prowler.
Al, what are you doing?
How domino champ Charlie Armstrong eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. How race car driver Bill Elliott eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Awesome. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Rip City TV continues with Mike Rice.
Santa, what I would like for Christmas is to grow up to be just like Wild Rice.
Well, Nathan, that's a little bit ambitious, but I'll see what I can do.
Isn't Sandy wonderful? I hope he can help the Blazers in the NBA. In case he can't, I brought along some of my partners to help.
Santa, I'd like to see more player-fan synergy. Get the fan back in the game. Excitement overall. The players can make big plays. That's what the fans want to see. They don't come to see coaches. They don't come to see officials. They come to see the players. Let them emote. Let them get excited. The fan picks up on that, and it carries on down. We want to see some Raise the Roof antics, not a museum event. Get the fan back in the game. Without the fan, there is no game. That's something we have to understand. Don't overcook the golden goose, fellas. Get excited. Have fun.
Santa, I got a short Christmas wish, and it's a short list. You know, we're in an age of high-tech, and I wish you would find a CD-ROM that teaches these young players how to play offense, because what we've seen is scary. But even better yet, if you could just do me one more favor, show the coaches how to sit down and enjoy the game.
All right, Santa, I hope you can help. I've got a list here, and I've thought about it more than twice. Follow me, if you will. The NBA, the needs, well, right now, it has been reduced to trash-talking, bad shooting, fundamentally unsound basketball by millionaires who seem not to care about the game as they should. Too many other opportunities, endorsements, so forth and so on. Now, what you should, Santa, have the NBA and the players do is to get back to basic basketball. Get in the game and get in the game that they loved for all of their lives. And as far as the fans are concerned and the officials of the game, let them play. Have fun.
Santa, my thoughts are going to be to the young players of the NBA also. The best citizens of most countries are the people that understand and appreciate their own history. I put together a list of some of the great players that made the NBA what it is today. Bob Pettit, Walt Bellamy, Bob Cousy, Maurice Stokes. I asked the Blazer players to identify as many of these great players as they could. I'm glad I put Chamberlain and Russell on the list, or some of them wouldn't have had any right. I think the young players of the NBA today think that Magic and Bird start at the NBA. Jermaine O'Neal, when I asked him about Pistol Pete Maravich, he said, who? And both of those people are from the South. Santa, I want you to give each player, young player in the NBA, a history book of the NBA's last 50 years. And if you do that and they read it real closely, when they're driving around in their Mercedes-Benz, maybe they'll appreciate the old NBA a little bit more. From all of us and everybody else at Blazer Broadcasting, we want to wish you and yours a very safe and happy holiday.
Wild rice?
Wild rice.
Oh, yes. Who's Wild Rice?
Oh, it's a long story.
Oh, good.
You're gonna have...
Rip City TV continues with Bill Schonely.
Did you know the Blazer roster includes an actor in its ranks? Granted, Mitchell Butler's film experience to this point have been supporting roles in basketball movies, but it's work he would like to pursue more. In the NBA, Mitchell knows what it's like to scrap for minutes, and it's much the same in the movies. Some of his scenes in the HBO movie Rebound hit the cutting room floor.
Well, you know, I'm not on a lot, but, you know, there was a lot of stuff that they had to get in there. You know, they really wanted to show more of the GOAT and the problems that he went through. And the way that they showed it, the way they depicted it, and when I saw it, I thought that it was great. You know, it really wasn't necessary for people to see that he played against Earl Monroe, Wilt Chamberlain, and those guys. Just to actually see how he performed against us in that little time frame showed you how special of a player he was. And, you know, the more important thing was that, you know, they got the story out that, you know, this was a guy who was supposed to make it into the NBA who had fallen in the cracks, and you know, it was unfortunate, but you know, people can learn from it.
The movie is the story of Earl the Goat Manigault, a New York City playground legend who stood out wherever he played and whoever he played against before drugs took their toll. Butler plays another Earl in the film, Earl the Pearl Monroe, a man recently named one of the top 50 players of all time.
With Earl Monroe, the one thing that I remember most was him just, you know, his spin moves, you know, his shake going to the basket, you know, his passing, you know, all of those things. I mean, he was really before his time.
Mitchell's screen time may be limited for now, but don't count him out up the road.
I'd love to do it again. You know, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, after I'm done playing, you know, maybe this is something I can move into and hopefully be pretty consistent at it.
Denzel Washington, watch it.
Tell him to move aside. I got the same coach that he had.
You saw him earlier in Rip City TV, and you can read about him in Rip City Magazine. Rasheed Wallace represents the Blazers' new power generation. Check him out and email us at Rip City Television and Magazine at ripcity@ripcity.com. Let us hear what you think.
Watch your step, darling.
Dora, my darling.
100 years ago, Henry Weinhard made the West's finest beer.
Evening, Mayor.
And served it in the finest establishments.
2 Henrys.
Henry Weinhard crafted his beer with pure spring water and rare Cascade hops because he knew
It's called a coaster.
that even in the Northwest Territory,
Ticket?
people could still appreciate the finer things in life.
23? Will you go out west with me?
When there's a job to get done, there's Power Reds.
Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson of the Blazers.
And I'm Tammy Anderson.
Our family wants to make this holiday season joyous for children in need. Please help us by giving to the Northwest News Channel 8 Great Toy Drive.
Just bring a new unwrapped toy to any Portland, Vancouver, Les Schwab Tire Center or to the Rose Garden on Wednesday, December 18th before the Blazers Sonics game.
Holidays are for children. That's why Tammy and I hope you'll take part in the Northwest News Channel 8 Great Toy Drive. Happy holidays.
Rip City TV is back with Steve Jones.
We do our little photo thing before.
When the Blazers signed free agent Kenny Anderson this summer, they knew they were getting a high-profile player with special talent.
Kenny going to take the shot, throws it up. He's going to get it. It goes in the buzzer. Kenny Anderson wins the game.
What they didn't know was they were also getting a high-profile family with special traits of its own. Tammy Anderson is an actress, model, and musician. Her resume is impressive, with her most visible work coming on MTV's Real World documentary.
The day would have continued, and we would not have went to dinner. Not Tammy and David. It would have been Tammy, David, Andre, George.
Tammy and Kenny have been quick to embrace Portland. Kenny is a spokesman for Dornbecker Hospital's Kids Making Miracles program and makes donations to several foundations for every assist he collects. In addition, the Andersons donated to turkeys as the Blazers fed 2,500 needy people a pre-Thanksgiving meal last month. They are also participating in the toy drive this holiday season. It was never a question of if, but rather how the Andersons would be involved in the community.
If people are in need, you need to help them now. You don't need to wait 3 months down the road to figure out, should I help somebody, if it's genuine from you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we feel about it.
That's the one thing I try to be is, you know, the media, you know, the paper articles, it's all fine and dandy, you know, when you do something for charity and things, but I can care less. I can keep it to myself. I like to do things genuine, and that's what I looked at Kids Making a Miracle. I wanted to do it touch something that's going to touch me from the heart and be genuine with it, not just for getting press.
They are the parents of 2 daughters, and although their careers present a definite challenge, it's obvious that being there for Lyric and little Kenny is a priority.
Yeah, I'm a young father, and I'm also young being that I'm young, and I'm also being a professional athlete, and it's pretty tough on me. So I question, you know, what kind of father I am at times, but you know, I can't, you know, really put my finger on it sometimes. But all I can do is say I can be there for my kids when I can, spend a lot more time with them in the off season, and just it's bothersome because you know, you don't know. I don't know if I'm doing right.
Want to help? Okay, pour this on there. All right, okay, that'll work.
Tammy will continue to work at being a mom, but she'll also work with us. Starting next month, Tammy joins our Rip City TV team. Look for her on our January 22nd show.
The NBA is celebrating its 50th anniversary. We here at Rip City TV want to do our part. With Portland bracing to face Shaquille O'Neal and the Los Angeles Lakers, the timing is right to look back at 2 of the game's most dominating players.
From the first time they played against one another until the last time, their contests were billed as a battle of titans.
Chamberlain scores over Russell.
Wilt Chamberlain was the most dominant offensive force in basketball history. He once scored 100 points in a single game.
Back to Chamberlain.
Each of the 2 championship teams on which he played set a record for wins in a season. Bill Russell revolutionized the game with his shot-blocking defense. Before him, basketball was a floor game. Because of him, it moved above the rim. His team won 11 championships in his 13 years of play, a record unequaled by any athlete in any sport.
It was a classic confrontation. The greatest offensive player ever and the greatest defensive player, same time, playing against each other.
Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, friends and champions.
Stay with us here on the Blazer Television Network as the Blazers face the Lakers. Be sure to track the matchup of old college buddies Aaron McKie and Eddie Jones. All the action is just around the corner.
Plymouth Neon.
What brings you here?
We hear this is a fair place to work, and every man gets a ration of Henry's.
Over 100 years ago, Henry Weinhard made the West's finest beer.
When do we get to Henry's?
When you're done.
So when you found Henry's, you knew you were someplace special. Because Henry Weinhard crafted his beer with pure spring water and rare Cascade hops.
Sure is a good place to work.
Okay, fellas, let me tell you about our 401k plan. We have 3 investment options, including a mutual fund and several high-yield.
There's a job to get done. There's Power Reds.
Tonight's special presentation of Rip City Television was brought to you by the Northwest Chrysler Plymouth Dealers, the home of the minivan store. By Henry Weinhard's Private Reserve, the West's first premium beer. And by Power Rents, when there's a job to get done.
Got hit that time, didn't get the call, holding his hip, coming right back at him, though.
Oh! Wow! Zanetzkos does well to shoot the 3-ball, but he didn't come close there. Ooh, what a pass. Aaron McKee. What a wonderful pass. Anderson.
Has been a Blazer Broadcasting and Post Up Productions presentation.
Hello, little Ralphie. It's me. Honey, is there something wrong with the dog?